Where's Anna? I wanted to log in and check. Do you have the you have the site? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just log into mine and just see. But typically they should have also started to charge. How do we check?
This human system.
Namaskaram. Welcome, everyone. Is the audio clear to all of you? There are a few more participants who've registered for this webinar who are yet to log in. So, shall we wait for a few more minutes? And in the meantime, if we can request all of you to, you can use headphones so that this can enhance the clarity. It can also conserve your bandwidth. We'll begin shortly. Namaskaram again. Welcome to everyone. For those of you who've just joined us a little late, I hope the audio is okay. You can mention if there are any issues or if any support that you need, you can mention it on the chat box. So it's wonderful to connect with all of you from the Isha Yoga Center. It's really nice to see all of you, join us here today. So during the session today, we'll go through a few simple practices that have been derived from, the ancient yogic sciences to help enhance our health. There's a special practice that has been offered specifically by Sadhguru for these times to enhance our respiratory system. And we'll also go through a guided meditation as well. Now, in Isha, for all of our programs, our events, we go through a great length to ensure that we set the right atmosphere, the right ambience for yoga. It's only in a conducive atmosphere that these technologies can really deliver the best results. Now, in these kind of circumstances, when we're doing the session online, it is up to you to create this committed atmosphere, wherever you are. So, we hope that you can take care of this. So before we begin, it's very, very important. Let's first set the stage. Yes? There are many ways you can go about this. The most important thing, the most fundamental thing is that you're committed towards this. So the next 70 minutes, please dedicate it exclusively just for this session. So it's best that, you keep your phones on a switched off or silent mode. It's best you can watch the webinar on a PC or a laptop. But in case you're watching it on your phone as well, if you can keep it on a do not disturb mode. And please do not get up in between, to drink water or use the restroom, eat, for whatever reason. There are many ways to attend webinars. Some of you might be very, very new to this. Some of you, thanks to the lockdown, you've become experts in attending webinars. Some of you have really learned to effectively multitask during a webinar. So there are many ways you can go through this. But if we can just ensure that the next 70 minutes, we dedicate this exclusively for this session. Can we take care of that? Like I said, you can post your concurrence or any objections on the chat box. If you have, children or even pets, just ensure that you create a situation where there's no disturbance from them during this time. And like we'd already shared with you earlier, it's best that you sit for the session with, a light or an empty stomach condition, which is preferably around, say, an hour and a half or so after a meal. Now, in case you've just eaten or in case you're in a full stomach condition, it's okay. You can still go through the session, but it'll be best that you don't do the practices. You can observe the practices, go through the instructions, and you can do them at a time when you're in the empty stomach condition. In terms of receiving this session, it'll be best if you can sit with your spine comfortably erect, ideally in a cross-leg posture with your palms facing upwards. If you wish to, you can sit with your back rested, but it's best that you don't keep your head rested. So like we said earlier, we'll go through the session. We'll learn a few simple tips that can really enhance our health in a very, very big way. Right now we know in this kind of a situation, health is a big concern for a lot of people. It's on top of our minds, yes? But virus or not, just because the situation outside is such, virus or not, health is one of the most fundamentals to our well-being, isn't it so? Yes? Especially now, in many, many ways, the outside situation is so uncertain, it's so challenging. Sadhguru has spoken about this repeatedly, where these kind of times, they can really become a big step for us to take a step towards our own inner well-being, to really enhance ourselves. He's given us many tools, very simple ones that we can very effectively use to take these steps towards our inner well-being. So like we said today, we look at a few things that can enhance us on the level of the health. Let's begin by going through a video where Sadhguru speaks about health. Now, many of us, when we speak about health, we understand it as physical fitness or stamina, but there's so much more to health, isn't it? So here Sadhguru looks at the very fundamentals of health. What are those underlying structures that decide a person's health and well-being? Let's look at this together.
This human system in yoga, we look at it as 5 sheaths or 5 layers. 5 layers of body. In the yogic system, there is no such thing as mind, there is no such thing as anything. Everything is seen as body. because we are looking at it as a technology for transformation. These are called Annamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha and Anandamaya Kosha. Anna means the food that you've eaten. What you call as my body is just the food that you've eaten, isn't it? It's a heap of food. Small or big is your choice, but it's a heap of food whichever way, isn't it? As there is a physical body which you gathered from outside, there is a mental body. When we say mind, it is not here or there. Every cell in the body has its own intelligence. Every cell in the body has its own memory, isn't it? So there is a body of mind. So this is known as the mental body or Manomaya Kosha. So that is hardware, this is software. This hardware and software cannot do much unless you plug it into quality power. So the third layer of the body is called Pranamaya Kosha or the energy body. These three are physical in nature. The next layer of the body is a transitory body, which is known as the Vijnanamaya Kosha. It is a transitory body. From physical to non-physical, it's transiting. It does not ascribe to any of the physical qualities, but at the same time it has not become completely non-physical either. The fifth one is called as Anandamaya Kosha. In English language, it translates into as bliss body. Bliss body does not mean there is a bubble of bliss inside you. We are calling it bliss body because in our experience, whenever we touch it, we become blissful. So we are calling it bliss body. That's not its nature, that is what it causes for us. It is a non-physical dimension which is the source of everything that is physical. If you align the physical body, the mental body and the energy body in proper alignment and balance, there will be no physical or psychological ailments within you. It is just a disaligned state which causes all kinds of problems. When body comes to a certain ease, there is no dis-ease. So if you align these things, only then you have a passage, you have a possibility of touching the Anandamaya Kosha, where blissfulness becomes a natural process. It is not that you're blissful about something, you're just blissful because that is the nature of life. To create health for yourself, there are three fundamentals that you need to take care of: food, activity and rest. When it comes to food, one of the most important things that you must be conscious of is, on a certain day when you eat a certain type of food, whatever you eat, you must consciously notice how quickly does it digest and become a part of yourself. Any food that you eat, if it lasts over 3 hours, that means you've eaten bad food and that is something to be either avoided or reduced in quantity. If food moves out of your stomach bag within 3 hours, this means you're eating something that your system can handle efficiently. It may not be the best food, but your system is able to handle it. And between one meal and the next meal, if you create a clear gap of 5 to 6 hours, and in between if there is no other ingestion, you will see the cleansing process in the system on the cellular level, cleansing will happen. This cleansing on the cellular level is most important and significant for a healthful life. So between meals there must be at least 5 to 6 hours of space. If you're over 30 years of age, 2 meals a day, 2 good meals a day will suffice. One in the morning and one in the evening. After the evening meal, before you go to bed, there must be a minimum of 3 hours, and if there is a certain amount of physical activity, not necessarily very heavy or strenuous activity, just simple walking or maybe a dance or something like this, create something for yourself where about at least 20 to 30 minutes there is some physical activity after the evening meal. If you do this, largely your system will be healthy. If one goes to bed with food still inside the stomach bag, a certain level of inertia is generated in the system. This inertia, physiologically, it's like accelerating towards death. Death is ultimate inertia, and if you go to bed with stomach full, one thing is it generates inertia, Another dimension is the stomach bag is full means it will create pressure on other organs in the abdomen region. This will also lead to various kinds of health issues. It's very important when you go to bed, again, food has moved out of the stomach bag, that the bag is not heavy to put pressure on as you sleep in different postures. It should not be putting pressure on the rest of the organs. When it comes to activity, in this brief time, I don't want to give you an exercise regimen. The simple thing that we need to understand is, our body is capable of bending forward, bending backward and twisting sideways on either side. This much activity must happen, whatever we do, in whatever form. If you do classical Hatha Yoga, that is the best way to do it, scientific way of doing it. If that is not yet in your life, you must somehow make sure every day you bend forward, backward and twist both ways and squat, so that stretching of the spinal column will happen. This much activity is a must for everybody on a daily basis if we want to keep the entire system in a healthful state, particularly your neurological system, which will be an issue as one ages. The volume of rest that an individual needs is determined by various factors. One important factor is the type and the volume of food that one consumes. When I say the type of food, you must experiment with foods and see what type of foods cause maximum heaviness within you, what type of foods will leave you light and agile. If you make sure at least 40% of your diet is fresh vegetables and fruits, you will see the lightness in the body will come, because what the body needs is restfulness, not necessarily sleep. Most people understand that sleep is the only way to rest. No. As you sit and stand, you can either be restful or in a state of agitation or in a state of inertia. If you are in a lively state of restfulness, moment to moment in your life, the volume of sleep you actually require will come down.
Now we will begin with the practices. Now before we start with the practices, if those of you who are watching it on your phone, or even those of you who are watching it on your laptop, it's best that you keep it in front of you on a desk or possibly next to you, so that there is sufficient space around you. Like we said at the beginning of the session, it'll be best if you can sit in a cross-leg posture with your spine comfortably erect and your palms facing upwards. Now when the practice starts, there will be a demonstration of the practice. Please don't attempt to do the practice while the demonstration is happening. Just observe and just listen to the instructions. After the demo is complete, there will be instructions for you to do the practice. Listening to those instructions, then you can do the practice. The first practice that we learn today is called Yoga Namaskar. Yoga Namaskar is a very simple and powerful process to activate the lumbar region of the spine. It strengthens the muscles along the spine. It also prevents the spine's collapsing due to aging. Now we learn Yoga Namaskar.
Yoga for well-being. Yoga Namaskar. Yoga Namaskar is a powerful system by itself. It activates the lumbar region of the spine in a tremendous way, strengthens the muscles along the spine, giving it a reinforcement so that as one ages, the collapsing of the spine, which causes pinching of the nerves, does not happen. And if already there's damage is setting in, the best way to regenerate your spine would be by doing Yoga Namaskar. It has all-round benefits for the entire body. Yoga Namaskar is a very simple and complete process by itself.
To practice Yoga Namaskar, you will need a light stomach condition. That is approximately 1.5 hours gap after having a meal. If you do not fulfill this condition, please skip this particular practice for now. Those with hernia and pregnant women in the 3rd or 4th month of pregnancy should avoid practicing Yoga Namaskar. Now we will learn Yoga Namaskar. This is a series of 7 steps. He will demonstrate one full cycle. Please observe. Stand with your feet comfortably apart and parallel to each other. Keep your arms and shoulders loose and relaxed. Eyes open. Focus on a point in front of you. Once your focus is steady, hold Namaskar by bringing your palms together in front of your chest. This is the starting position. As you inhale, bring your hands up above your head. As you exhale, bring your hands downward so that the heels of your palms come behind your neck. As you inhale, bring your hands straight up. As you exhale, bring your hands down in front of your chest. This is step 1. You do the same thing twice more. Step 2. As you exhale, make a sound from the pit of the throat. Step 3. The whole time, your fingers should be together, pointing straight up, even when you bring your hands behind your neck. As you bring your hands up, it is a full inhalation. As you lower it down, it is a full exhalation with the sound. After you do this 3 times, you squat straight down. Step 4. As you inhale, bring your hands up. As you exhale, bring it down behind the neck. As you inhale, bring it up. As you exhale, bring it down in front of your chest. Then, as you inhale, push your hands straight out in front of you, fingers pointing forward. As you exhale, making the sound, bring it back to the chest. Do this 3 times. Step 5. As you inhale, bring your hands up. As you exhale, bring them down behind the neck. As you inhale, bring your hands up. As you exhale, down in front of your chest. As you inhale, straight out in front of you. As you exhale, back to the chest. Once more, step 6, inhale, hands up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, hands straight out. Exhale, hands to the chest. Now step 7. As you inhale, push your hands straight out. Bring your knees to the ground. Lean forward and place your forehead on the ground. Stretch your arms above your head. Rest your palms on the ground. Place your hands together so that the thumbs and pointing fingers are touching, forming a triangle. Your elbows should be slightly bent. This is Balasana. Stay here until your breath stabilizes, or for a minimum of 2 minutes. Then gently stand up and come back to the starting position. This is 1 cycle of Yoga Namaskar. We will look at a few modifications and corrections. If you find it difficult to squat, then you can place a support about 1/2 inch or 1 inch thick below your heels and squat down, ensuring your feet are parallel to each other. For some people, while bringing the hands behind the head, the fingers are pointing backward. The fingers should be pointing straight up. Also, there is a tendency for the head to come down. The head should be straight. Do not move the hands too quickly or casually. There should be slight tension in the arms as you do the movement. Now we will do one cycle of Yoga Namaskar together, incorporating all of these corrections. Please stand. Stand with your feet comfortably apart and parallel to each other. Those of you who need a cushion as support to squat, you can keep it just behind your feet, and when we come to step 4 to squat down, you can step backward onto the cushion and use it as a support when you squat down. Eyes open. Focus on a point in front of you. Once your focus is steady, hold Namaskar in front of your chest. This is the starting position. Step 1. As you inhale, bring your hands up. As you exhale, with the sound, bring your hands down behind your head. As you inhale, bring them up. As you exhale, bring them down to your chest. Do this twice more. Step 2, bring your hands up with a full inhalation. Bring your hands down with a full exhalation. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down to the chest. Step 3, inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down behind the head. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down to the chest. Now squat straight down. If you need a cushion, you can use it as a support. Ensure your focus is directly in front of you. Step 4. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Then, as you inhale, push your hands straight out. As you exhale, bring your hands towards your chest. We'll do this twice more. Step 5, inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Keep your head straight. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, straight out. Exhale, back. Step 6, inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down to the chest. Inhale, straight out. Exhale, back. Step 7, as you inhale, push your hands straight out. Bring your knees to the ground. Lean forward and place your forehead on the ground. Stretch your toes behind you. The body should be sitting upon your heels. Place the hands together on the ground so that the thumbs and pointing fingers are touching, forming a triangle. Your elbows should be slightly bent. Stay here in Balasana until your breath stabilizes. Then gently stand up and come back to the starting position. When you are finished, you can sit comfortably. When you practice Yoga Namaskar on your own on a regular basis, for more impact on the system, instead of doing one cycle, you can do 3 cycles of Yoga Namaskar.
Namaskaram. So how was the practice for you? I'm sure for some of us, given our lifestyles, we're almost always sitting on a chair or in a, that kind of a position. So squatting may have been a little challenging for a few of us, but don't worry, don't get disheartened. You'll see that as you keep practicing it, even within a few days, it'll become much, much more easy. You might have seen, especially, people in the villages and, especially in rural India, very easily, very comfortably, they're just sitting in a squatting position. So it just takes a little bit of practice. Within a few days, you should be able to get this. If you have any questions pertaining to this particular practice, you can post it on the chat box right now. We can look at it quickly. So Vikram Chaudhary is asking, for those who have knee pain, what should we do? And similarly, Dr. R. Mitral is also asking, I cannot bend my knee much because of rheumatoid arthritis, and neither can I sit on the ground properly. What should I do? So for those of you who have knee pain, who are not able to bend your knees, either due to arthritis or any other issues, you can use slight modifications. See, as it was guided in the video, you can use a cushion. Just keeping a cushion just beneath your heels and coming to a squatting position, you'll see that it will make it much more comfortable for you to be able to squat. In case you're not able to do that, even with the cushion under the heels, another modification you can use is, you can use a 1-foot riser or a stool, which is just about a foot high, and steps 4 to 6, where you would be squatting. Those steps 4 to 6, you can do it sitting on the 1-foot riser. This way you can do the practice. And like I said earlier, as you continue to do the practice, you'll see that your flexibility will increase much more and the pains in the knee will gradually subside. So if it's hurting a little bit right now, please don't give up on the practice. Please see how to make it happen. It will become much more comfortable. Rajat Sharma is asking, in case we forget this, how do we remember this practice? It may happen that we forget it when we actually practice. Rajat, don't worry about that. There is a lot of online support available for this practice. The video is available on the Sadhguru app. It's also available on YouTube. The ideal way to do this would be the first couple of times, maybe, just for you to really imbibe the steps. You can watch the video. Don't try to do the practice while the demonstration is happening. You watch the video and then following the instructions, you do the practice, just like how you did now. For the first few days, till you get used to the practice, you can do this. After that, once you get more comfortable, the best way to do it would be without any online support. I hope that makes it clear. Now, Arun Gupta is asking, if one is doing Upayoga, that is, and some other preparatory asanas which you might have learned in the inner engineering program, where does Yoga Namaskar fit in? So you can do the Yoga Namaskar as a part of the Upayoga. So you can do the practices that you've learned as part of Upayoga, that is the directional movement, the neck practices, the knee rotation, and then you can do the Yoga Namaskar and then move on to the other practices. That would be the best way to do this. Now we learn the next practice, Simha Kriya. Some of you may have already done this practice. So this is a practice that Sadhguru has offered specially for this time. It is a practice that enhances the respiratory system and increases the capacity of the lungs. Now, we don't have to emphasize on this, how important this is, especially in this time. All of you know, how potent the virus can be, especially on the respiratory system. So it's very, very important that we keep our lungs and the overall respiratory system in a good condition. So now let's look at Simha Kriya.
So this is a simple practice. This is not relevant to people who are doing Shakti Chalana Kriya. It's not necessary to do this. But it could be done. If you're doing Shakti Chalana Kriya in the morning, in the evening, you can do it, or in the afternoon if you're hungry enough, you can do it. Otherwise, for those of you who do not know any other powerful process, this will help. One thing is, it will enhance your lung capacity. Another thing is, it'll enhance your immunity. And above all, if you can do it today, if you can do it for next 5 days, and suddenly one day you're not able to do it, this means definitely you got some respiratory problem. It may not be this particular virus, but it could be anything else. It doesn't matter what it is, you must have yourself checked if you suddenly find you're not able to do it. What it involves is that you have to fully stretch your tongue out with your mouth fully open and then breathe as powerfully as possible without jerking the abdomen, but powerful pushing in and pushing out, both inhalation, exhalation, 21 times. And when it is done, you roll up your tongue upward, push it as further back as you can. You don't have to use your hands, it's not a good time to use your hands. So roll up your tongue fully as much as you can by itself, and still with your mouth open. Again breathe the same way, inhalation, exhalation as powerfully as possible, but you must get the sound by making a constriction in your throat like this. The sound must be there, it's important that you form a constriction at the throat level, at the pit of your throat, and make the sound, and inhalation, exhalation, fully exhaling, fully inhaling as powerfully as you can, but without jerking the abdomen, another 21 times with the tongue rolled up. Throughout the whole process, you have your eyes closed, you inhale fully and simply sit there with the fullness of breath for 1 minute. If you are beyond a certain age or your breathing is not that good, at least 30 seconds. If you're not able to do 1 minute, a minimum of 30 seconds you stay there. When the day you're not able to do it, you must understand that there is some problem with your respiratory system and you must go for a checkup. Right now, she will demonstrate. So what's being done is, one has to sit in a cross-legged posture, whichever way you can, whatever your body permits, and then use both the arms to push it up in such a way that your rib cage lifts off the diaphragm region, fully pushed up, and now extend your tongue fully out. Like this 21 times. When it's done, You exhale with your mouth closed, making the sound at the pit of your throat by creating a constriction. And then if you wish to sit quietly for some time with your eyes closed, do that, and then you can do whatever you're doing. This is a simple practice that anybody could do. You ensure if you're not totally empty stomach, at least you must be somewhat hungry kind of situation. This is a simple practice, particularly those of you who are exposed either because you are medical personnel or you're police or you're in some other service where you're exposed to infected people. Please make sure you do this will make a lot of difference for you.
The practice instructions will be available online for your reference. Please do the practice exactly as instructed. Do not make any changes or modifications to it, such as increasing the count. Anyone between 6 and 70 years of age can do this practice, regardless of their physiological and medical conditions. Those below 6 years of age and those above 70 years of age can do the practice too, but they must do the breathing 12 times only, not 21 times. People who have or have had any kind of tumour in the brain or hemorrhage of the brain can do the practice, but they must do the breathing 12 times only, not 21 times.
Okay. So now we'll take a few minutes and do the practice together. As instructed by Sadhguru, please close your eyes. Place your hands on your thighs. Stick your tongue out and exhale, making the sound from the pit of the throat. Continue to do this 21 times. Once you have done this 21 times, now fold your tongue up, roll it back and make the same sound 21 times. Once you have done this 21 times, continue to keep your eyes closed. Inhale fully and hold your breath. Now exhale, making a sound from the pit of the throat. Slowly open your eyes. Now we'll look at a few questions about the practice. Some of you have been posting these questions on the chat. So Kusukutan is asking, should the tongue be folded while in that minute? So I understand that you're asking this question about the last 1 minute when you're holding the breath. No, the tongue need not be folded during this time. Arpan Day is asking, whenever I do Simha Kriya, I feel faint. What am I doing wrong? This shouldn't be happening, Arpan. Probably if you have any other respiratory ailments or something from earlier, it could be causing a little bit of stress in your system. It may be worth it to just check with the doctor as to what it is. But you'll also see that initially, the first 2 times, even if it feels a little strenuous, you feel a little breathless, you'll see that this is also a practice that will get better with practice. Now, Avneet is asking how to make the noise while exhalation in a closed mouth. So, Avneet, the sound that you're making is actually from the pit of your throat. See, if you just try this and see, you swallow your saliva, just try this and see, there'll be a constriction at the pit of the throat. So you consciously make this constriction. You hold this and exhale. You'll see that there will be a sound. So Jaimin Varsani is asking, how many times can we do Simha Kriya in a day? So Sadhguru has suggested that if you can do this practice at least 3 to 5 times in a day, you'll see that it will be very, very supportive for you. We've been receiving wonderful sharings from people who've actually done the Simha Kriya. Just recently, we received a sharing from someone in New York. She had been diagnosed with COVID-19. And the first couple of days when she tried the practice, she was barely able to hold her breath for 20 seconds. And within 3 to 4 days of doing the practice, very comfortably, she was able to hold it for a minute. And she shared, how wonderful it made her feel. So please see, it's a very simple practice. As you've known, barely takes about 3 to 4 minutes to do. So please see how to bring it in. And it will make a huge world of difference to your respiratory system and your overall immunity as well. Right now, we'll go through a guided meditation. So for this meditation, it's best that you sit with your back rested. You keep your hands and legs uncrossed and stretched out. Like I said, your back should be rested, but your head should not be rested. We'll go through this meditation. This is an audio guided meditation. So you just make sure that there's no disturbance around you, once again, like I said, and you just follow the instructions that will be coming on the audio. Let's go through this together.
Each one of us has desires, our very own list of dreams and longings. Creation may have its own blueprint for us, but our personal desires cannot be easily wished away. They may be extravagant or mundane, ambitious or trivial. They may be inconvenient, they may be too personal to share, but they are ours, and for us, they are real, they are precious, they are urgent and deeply significant. Here is a rare offering from Sadhguru, a mystic who embodies the wisdom and clarity of profound realization. It is an offering that enables each one of us to become our own alchemist, that empowers us to transform long-cherished desires into reality. Sadhguru offers this with the intention that once these desires are fulfilled, we will turn towards the larger goal of our ultimate well-being. Chit Shakti meditation for health.
Chit Shakti. Be the maker of your own destiny. As humans, all that we have created is just a manifestation of our minds. So the most important part of creating what you want is to first manifest it within the mindscape. What is powerfully established in the mindscape is bound to find manifestation in actuality. Chit Shakti meditations are tools to create what you desire in the mindscape and in turn in reality. A way of creating and manifesting what you really care for in your life. May you know the power of being the master of your own destiny. Keep your hands and legs uncrossed. Place your hands upon your thighs, facing upward, loosely placed. Close your eyes, sit comfortably. Take a deep breath and as you exhale, relax into it. Take another deep breath and as you exhale, relax even more into it. Take one more deep breath. This time, the relaxation should be total. Now, tense your feet alone. Tense, tense, tense. Relax. Now tense your calf muscles only, above your ankle, below the knee. Tense, tense, tense. Relax. Now tense your thigh muscles. Tense, tense, tense. Relax. Tense your hip and stomach muscles. Tense, tense, tense. Relax. Now tense the muscles on your chest, shoulders and your back. Tense, tense, tense. Hold the tension. Relax. Tense both your arms. Tense, tense. Make a fist and create tension. Tense, tense. Relax. Tense your neck muscles. Tense, tense, tense. Relax. Tense the muscles on your face and the back of your head. Make a face and create tension. Tense, tense, tense. Relax. Take a deep breath and as you exhale, relax. Feel relaxation spreading right through your body from the top of your head down to your toes. Take a deep inhalation. As you inhale, take your attention to the top of your head and exhale, taking your attention down to your feet. Again, inhale, taking your attention to the top of your head. Exhale, taking your attention down to your feet. A deep inhalation and full exhalation. Every time you inhale, take your attention to the top of your head, and as you exhale, take your attention down to your feet. A deep inhalation and a full exhalation. Keep your attention moving with your breath. Inhalation, you must hit the top of your head. Exhalation, down to your feet. Inhalation, take your attention to the top of your head. Exhalation, down to your feet. Continue the process. Relax your breath. Keep your attention at the top of your head and slowly, very, very slowly, move your attention downward and see that as you move your attention down, every cell that comes under your awareness lighting up with bright white light. As you move your attention from the top of your head down, see every cell in your body lighting up with bright white light. Move your attention towards your forehead. See that whole region lighting up, every cell in the body lighting up. As you move your attention down, see every cell in the body bursting into white, bright light. Down into your face, see it lighting up. Further down, towards your chin, see the whole region lighting up one cell at a time. Further down into your throat, see it all lighting up, cell by cell, bursting into bright white light. Down to your throat, into your chest, see the upper region of your body all lit up. Go further down into your chest, down, see every cell in your body lighting up, see your arms lighting up fully. Go down to your stomach, see it all lighting up, every cell in your body lighting up with bright white light. Go further down, the base of your belly, into your groin, thighs, knees, calf muscle, ankle, feet, toes. See every cell in your body fully lit up with bright white light. See that the energy that created your body is within. Allow this source of your creation to heal and replenish every cell in your body. Allow this source of your creation to heal and replenish every cell in your body. See your body being nourished and replenished from within. See every cell in your body healing and rejuvenating by the energy that is the maker of your body. See every cell in your body healing and rejuvenating by the energy that is the maker of your body. Allow it to grow. Allow this energy to grow within you. See that every cell in your body is touched and healed. See that every cell in your body is touched and healed. See your body glow with health and well-being.
You slowly open your eyes. We'd like to share a few tips, a few simple things that you can do to help to boost your immunity, to maintain it. The first thing is of course, to maintain social distancing. We don't need to emphasize on the importance of it or why it is needed. I'm sure you've heard so much about it already. Now, for those of us in India, or those of you joining us from across the world who are in a lockdown situation, it might have been a little easier to maintain the social distancing, within the confines of our homes, our private spaces. But now that in some parts the lockdown is lifting and it's easing up in many, many ways, once we start going out, it's even more important that we're very, very conscious of this, keeping that 6 foot distance between people. Just a simple step like this, it can go a really long way in just ensuring that we're able to take care of our health. So, in the days that are coming, please be very conscious of this, maintaining the social distancing wherever you are, in your workspaces, if you just choose to go out, the shopping, groceries, whatever it is. Just be conscious of this. Another thing is you can consume items like neem, turmeric, amla, or what is known as the gooseberry or nelikai in southern India. Traditionally, these items have been known to boost immunity in the system. And they're best taken on an empty stomach. They work most effectively when it's on an empty stomach. So neem, you can actually chew neem leaves. Sadhguru, in a very recent darshan, he guided that you can take about 8 to 10 neem leaves, chew it for some time, and just keep it, not spitting it out or trying to swallow it or drinking water and absolving yourself of the bitter taste, but just keeping it in your mouth, chewing it and keeping it for some time. Turmeric, you can take a little bit of powder, mix it with water, and make a marble-sized ball. It's best if you can use organic turmeric. And the amla, you can take an amla, smash it, get into really fine pieces, or smash it a little bit, put some salt on it, and chew it. Just keep it in your mouth about for an hour or so. And like we said, since they work most effectively on an empty stomach, you can probably see if you can take this first thing in the morning. That'll be the best way to consume them. We hope the practices that you learned, you're able to keep them up. They're very simple practices. In terms of time, they would barely take you about 5 to 10 minutes on a daily basis. But even though they're so simple, they can go a really long way, in enhancing the health of your system. There's a lot of online support that is available to maintain these practices. If you have any queries, there are email IDs that you can write to. Now, in time like this, like we said, so everything is so uncertain, crisis times like this is really a time where the pace of our lives has changed so dramatically. For some of us, the very course of our lives may have changed actually. So this is a time where, we can look back, reflect, strategize, to see what is really important. Where is it that we need our life to be? Where is it that we want our lives to be? In order to support you in this journey, we have our flagship program, the Inner Engineering Program. Some of you may have already heard about it. So this program is an opportunity to really look within, go deep within yourself, and build yourself to take responsibility for what is happening within us as well as the life situations around us. The program is usually offered in a variety of formats, both online and in person. But as you know, the possibility of an in-person program may not happen for quite some time to come. But there is still an opportunity for you to go through the Inner Engineering online, along with Sadhguru, at your own pace, in your own space. So this is a 7-session online module. Each session is roughly around an hour and a half. This is a wonderful opportunity that you can take to really look within yourself, take a comprehensive step towards your inner well-being. We'd just like to show you a short glimpse of what the Inner Engineering online program is.
There are situations outside, there are impediments, challenges, but your own mind, your own emotion, your own attitude should not become an impediment and a challenge. If you are not a challenge to yourself, rest we will handle to the best of our capabilities. inner engineering process by itself involves the body, the mind, emotion and energy. What we need to do with the body and energy, we will have to do direct because that's a kind of a transmission, that is not a teaching. But what we do with mind and emotion is a kind of a teaching that you can experience online. For most human beings, if the way they think and feel changes, you will see there is a tremendous change in their life. Fortunately, the preparatory part of inner engineering is available online also.
During these times, as a mark of our gratitude to all the healthcare personnel, all those people at the front lines who are battling the COVID-19, we're offering this free to the healthcare personnel and those at the front lines. And for everyone else, this is offered at half the price. So we invite you to come and participate and join us in this journey of, transformation and inner well-being. It's really been wonderful being with all of you today. We hope that the simple practices that you've learned in today's session can be a starting step for so much more. And we look forward to having you with us again and on this journey. Thank you.